Today is the first of 24 live broadcasts over the next 25 days between today and the 19th of October, where we'll do all 22 life-changing habits from our what we call our flagship program, and two introductions. Today being the first one for the series, and then there's a second introduction after the first 11 habits when we move into the advanced habits. Now, this is our guidebook, the Advanced Program Guidebook, which we claim is life-changing. Now, this is the culmination of around about 4 years of enjoyable work, research that myself and Stephen have done to put this program together to help people improve their health, well-being and happiness. Okay, now where this all started, just to give you a bit of background, a lot of people know us doing numerology readings at Mind, Body, Spirit shows. Now, we noticed a worrying pattern. Now, people were very spiritual and doing a lot of spiritual work and things were going well, but they were neglecting other areas of their life, particularly their health. So they're on track where they wanted to go spiritually, but health-wise, they were falling apart. Now, we started to notice that we were becoming sort of life coaches, trying to nurture them in other areas. And that's ultimately where this all came about. Starting in 2019, we've effectively spent the last 4 years meticulously researching, but it's a labour of love. It's something that we absolutely love doing. And we've put this together, and it's 22, we call them life-changing habits, 22 habits to nurture the mind, body and soul. Okay, anybody does them will guarantee it will change your life. Now, when we say change your life, this is not quick fix. This is life changing very, very slowly. Now, and it only works for as long as you do them. So we're talking a lifetime commitment here. Hence why we've turned everything into habits. The idea being that you very, very simple actions that nourish your sort of biological essence. If you repeat them enough, 66 days, the science says, they then become embedded in your subconscious as a habit. And we're all creatures of habit. So once they become habits, you automatically do them because it makes sense to do them for your whole life. You want to make them a habit that you don't have to think about. You don't have to consciously think about. You just automatically find yourself doing. Okay, it makes sense. Now, some of them are obvious, some of them not so obvious. But what we will say is in the research, because in the manual, what we've done, there's two things. We give you the why each habit. Some are blatantly obvious, as you'll see. Others may at first seem unusual, but when you delve into it, you'll see why we recommend it. We'll give you all the research, all the backgrounds, and then the most important thing, the how to get the benefit from it, okay, which is simple action steps. That's the key bit, is understanding if you want to do it. You don't even need to understand it. You can just go and do the action steps so you benefit from it. Now, it's split in half. First 11 are mainly for the physical body, the second 11 for the mind. There is crossover, okay, so it's the whole body. Now, what I'm going to go through shortly is what we call the base models, okay, because these link everything together. Okay, so this introduction is probably the longest one of the first 12 because we need to show you what's going on. Okay, now hopefully you can see those. I'm looking at the camera down there. You can see what they are. I'm just going to take you through them. With all the research, we identified these 8 areas of your health you need to look at. Now, most people will think physical, mental, emotional, maybe spiritual, but we've identified 8 to make somebody what we call holistic, vibrant health. Okay, when I say holistic, we spell it this way. It's whole with a W. There we go. To be a holistic, rounded person with vibrant health, well-being and happiness. Okay, we believe there's 8 areas you've got to nurture. Okay, so with no further ado, let's get into these. Now I'll hold out to the camera. There's a slight delay on the screen I'm looking at. I'm now going to take you through these. Now we've put these in. This is very important to understand because this links everything. The 22 habits all linked together. But each habit, as we go through them over the next 24, 25 days, we'll tell you which one it's specifically aimed at. So we have a system we call the primary bucket and the secondary. Okay. Now I'll come back to this at the end. The program, we've done all this. We don't charge for anything. It's donation only. I'll give you the links where you can go and get this. 179 pages. Okay, if you want to read it all or just go straight to the action steps, it's up to you. But I'll give you the links because it's there. It's on an education platform for anybody who just wants to go and take it. So let's go back to these, the 8 areas of your health that we want to nurture. Okay, so what we're doing here is nurturing your biological essence to give you more energy and help you thrive. Now it's specifically done in this grid where we've got it in 3 separate lines. The top line is what we call the tangible buckets, because the outside world can see it to a degree. Now the very first one, I'll go to the individual buckets now. Now the buckets are a metaphor. Okay, the idea being is you start taking care of a specific part of your health. You've got to put the effort in. Now we using buckets as the metaphor. You've got to keep putting it in, but it also has a continual leak in buckets. You put the good stuff in, so you improve your health. You feel good, but if you don't continue to do it, you stop doing it. It's going to leak away eventually down to nothing, and then your health is going to start to fail. Okay, so the very first one, the most obvious one, is your physical health. Now, that's the first one that people think of when it comes to health. And of course, now the whole course, just to highlight this, it's got a very spiritual element on it. Let's say through it, because we're all spiritual beings having a series of human experiences. Okay, we've all inherited a meat suit called a body. For each lifetime, and the better we look after that body, the easier life tends to be. Okay, so the very first one is physical, very, very important. Now, most of the first 11 habits, which Stephen will take you through over the next 11 days, focus on the physical. Okay, now the second one on the top line is your financial health. Now, the reason we've got financial health in there is because it affects everything. All these buckets are linked. Now, your financial health, the way the world's structured, certainly the Western world or pretty much all the world, is that you need money to operate. Now, things are going very well. Life flows much easier if you're financially in good shape. If your finances are, let's say, struggling and you're under a bit of stress, it starts to affect other areas of your life. Okay, so it's very, very important you've got good financial health. Now, the one on the top line, your tangible, is your vocational health. Now, when we're doing numerology readings, we often refer to this one as your soul urge. This is what your soul wants to do. Okay, when you're doing it, it feels effortless. You're naturally enthused, motivated to do it. Now, with what me and Stephen are doing here with this vibrant health, this is part of our vocation. It's almost like what your soul's here to do. Now, it could be your main job, your hobby. It could be a part-time job, but the most important thing is that you nurture it, because if you're off track, if you're not doing what really motivates and enthuses your soul, you're going to get a void. I've been there temporarily when I first met Stephen, in between careers, thinking something's not right. Now, if that void isn't filled, and by the way, Habit 15 will help you do this. We've got an exercise to help you figure that out, so you can then start tweaking your life to get you on track. Simple questions to help you identify it. But if you've got that void and you're not sure what you want to do, it's very easy to get distracted and compensate by drink, drugs, sex, social media, where you're just continually avoiding it. and just trying to press it down, suppress it, because it's uncomfortable. Okay, but when you find that place, life flows much better when you're in there and you start to do what your soul wants to do. Okay, we can help you. So what we often refer to as the soul edge. Okay, so that's the tangible, so-called the tangible zone. Just look at the screen, the top zone, purely because the outside world can see it to a degree. They can see your physical health to a degree, your financial health, and your vocation. Okay, the outside world sees it. Right, now, the middle is the feel-good zone. Okay, this is the heart center. This is the most important area of the whole thing. And the whole program, you'll see all the habits are predominantly around these two. So first one is your emotional health. Now, your physical bucket is very important. Your emotional health is right up there with it. This is the big one, absolutely huge. Emotional health is how you feel. Now, as human beings, we actually feel our way through life. When I come to the second base model, it's all to do with emotions. Okay, absolutely crucial. This one goes through all 22 habits. If you get them right, it raises your emotional health. Okay, it goes up because you feel better. And the second one that goes hand in hand with this one is your mental health. Now, something that gets talked about constantly these days because as a race, you could say it's not in the best shape. A lot of people having mental issues. So your mental health is effectively how you see yourself. Self-esteem, self-worth, self-belief, self-confidence. If your mental health is good, life flows much easier. You feel better, your emotional health goes up, and you tend to do more, and life tends to go the way you want it. Okay, absolutely crucial. So those two are the heart center, and everything goes through them. Okay, now the bottom line is what we call the connecting zone. Okay, now connecting, these are unusual. Most of these, there's only one that tends to feature when people talk about health, but there's one that nobody ever talks about, but we've got it on our list. Now, by the way, these 8 buckets is something we came up with. We're not saying it's right. We're saying we believe there's 8 areas you've got to work on. So next one is divine sexual health. Now, divine is the key word here. Okay. Now, ultimately, this is habit 11. It's around the orgasm. Now, it's what we call self-actualization. It's what you're tapping into. This is the elixir of the gods. This is the highest energy you can tap into as a human being. Now, it's rejuvenating energy. It's life-giving energy. If you think about it, you can't have a birth without the orgasm, because what it is, you're bringing that life force into your body. Okay. Now, it's bathing in that energy. We'll give you, Stephen on Habit 11 will take you through all this. That is very, very health-inducing energy. Now, you can even use it to make yourself look younger. And we'll give you the formula in Habit 11. Okay, how to knock 7 years off your facial age using this energy. So there's a sexual element to it, but ultimately it's the divinity, bathing in your own divinity. Okay, right, so that's the first one on the bottom row. The second one is your social health. Now, this is very important. To be around a human being, we all crave that social interaction. Now, if you think about it, right now, 2023, September 2023, the world has never been more connected, but probably never been lonelier as a collective. Okay, now, whether it's connecting with friends, family, co-workers, your tribe, sports people, whatever it is, we crave that social interaction to feel good. It makes us feel wanted, feel part of something. Very, very important. Okay, we often see this at the numerology table where you get 1 or 2 lonely people just do not want to leave because they crave that interaction to feel part of something. Okay, so very important. And then last but not least, spiritual health. This one is quite common. It's talked about quite a lot. And basically, to simplify it, spiritual health is realizing you're part of something much bigger and you're connected to everything. The plants, the animals, everybody else. Okay, and it's that recognition that and that we're all the same. We're all on journeys. We're all the same, and that higher power, higher picture. There's a good phrase for what profits the man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul. Okay, when you're on a spiritual path and you're nurturing it, it feels good. Your vocational health and your spiritual health go hand in hand. You find that thing that you want to do that really makes you feel good, you'll find it's probably a spiritual path, all entwined with it. Okay, right. I've laboured that enough. So that's your 8 health buckets, and what I can do is put the links after this, so you can grab this, but so you get it in the program, plus all the videos many times. Okay, so that's the first one, first base model, 8 buckets. The second one, and this is phenomenal. This is what we call the emotional frequency chart. Okay, now this is absolutely brilliant. This is your barometer. Okay, this is so good, in our opinion, that we've put it in our logo. Okay, superimposed on the logo. Now, let me just walk you through it. I've got a bigger one behind me on this side, you can see. Now, its actual name is the Map of Consciousness, and we've stolen it. There's a guy called Dr. David Hawkins. I've got a couple of his books here. I've got 4 in total. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Now, what he's done over 30 years, this guy is a psychologist, doctor, very clever guy in the medical psychological world, but he's using kinesiology. He's mapped all the emotions to put them on a graph. Now, from this, you can see it closely, 17 emotions going from shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. Okay, and he's put numbers going from 20 to 1,000. Now, it's a map of consciousness. For simplicity, we call it the emotional frequency chart because it's your emotions that determine where you are on that chart. Okay. Now, sometimes we refer to it as emotional vibration chart, sometimes emotional frequency. Effectively the same thing. Vibration is when something's moving up and down. Frequency is how many times it does it per second, but it's effectively the same thing. Okay, so now what the chart does from your emotion is maps all this and basically wherever you are at any time, this chart gives you an idea of what's going on. Now, let me switch to the bigger one. Okay, now I'm going to turn to the board. You can see that, I think so. Okay, now, if we go to the lower emotions. Now, think here vibration. Now, let's take a person who's got the weight of the world on their shoulders, where life just seems to be falling apart. You'll see their energy's turned in, the body's turned in, the shoulders may be dropped. That's low energy, low vibration. Now, think of a youngster, young 4 or 5 year old in a playground, or somebody who's just won the lottery. They're bouncing around, they're full of energy. It's as simple as that. Low emotion, little energy. High emotion, loads of energy. Okay, we all know this, instinctively know this. It just means your cells are vibrating faster, your atoms are vibrating faster, and you've got more energy. Okay, now if we look at this, this tells us where we are at any time. Now, throughout a day, you might, somebody cut you up in the traffic and you get really angry, so you drop down on this chart. And then you get some good news, somebody walks in and gives you coffee and cake and you suddenly feel great, or somebody gives you a kiss, or you find out you've won the lottery and then you're delirious. So on this chart, you can move up and down all the time. But what we're talking about here is your average underlying frequency. Okay, so on an average day, take every emotion you felt, take the average, and that's where you are. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Okay, because we can all move up and down there. Now, some shocking stuff coming up here. The population, and this is David Hawkins has mapped this, and 10 years ago, we're going back here, the last time he mapped it, he's died, unfortunately, but left a wonderful legacy. In 2012, 78% of the global population were below 200, okay, which means their average emotion was shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, in that segment. Okay, now that is alarming. Now, when we get above that, we've got the whole pack, as you'll see if you go through this program, is to get your energy as high as possible. So it's nourishing your physical body, your mind, to improve your well-being, your happiness, to feel good. This is why your emotional bucket is so important. Feel good, to get up that chart. Because where the good stuff is, where we want to get you to, is here. Love, joy, and peace. If you can get there as a resting vibration, if your average vibration, you're just going to walk around with a smile on your face all day. Now, this isn't easy. This is why we've built everything around habits, because you've got to do the habits continually to raise your vibration, and you've also got to start offloading stuff, but we give you all the habits, all the tools to do that, so you don't get triggered by life, because this is effectively is emotional mastery where we're taking this. And me and Stephen are doing this all the time. We've been around this stuff for quite a while now, okay, but we're learning. So when it comes to emotional mastery, I would summarize the key is to observe life, don't react. You get caught up in the traffic. Okay, most people automatically react to it. You don't have to. Okay, this is what emotional mastery is all about. So the key, and this is more in the advanced habits, it doesn't matter what's happening, you are vibrating at a highest level you possibly can. So if something bad happens, good or bad is just an opinion. It's you keep your vibration high. And we're going to give you all the tools to do this. That's what all the habits are for. Okay, but it's not something you can just do a few times and game over, you've got it. No, you've got to do it continually. That's why we want to create habits and embed them in your subconscious, so you're always doing it. Me and Stephen actually play with this. It's like with traffic, just don't react with stuff. It's like we'll teach you this within the course. If something is perceived as bad by most people, it's can we get excited? Because it's all about not letting life pull you down to think, okay, there's maybe a lesson here, I've got to learn something, but there's something good coming, okay, to keep your vibration high. Because what you're looking at there is the law of attraction. On that one chart, that is so powerful. So the idea is, if you're starting to feel bad, catch yourself, okay, I've got to vibrate higher. Because what the law of attraction states is you attract like energy. Now, going back to 78% of the population, this was 10 years ago, were under that 200 mark. So living in all these lower emotions. Now you think what they're attracting, and this is purposely done by the system. Okay, that program, that propaganda program that's on every day, many times a day, called the news. Now hold that thought, I'm going to show you something to give you a very good example from 2 days ago. This is a double page spread from the Daily Mail on Saturday, or what I like to call the Daily Fail. Okay, so Saturday the 23rd. Now you can see the headline, the next pandemic is already coming and it could kill millions more than COVID. We need to prepare for it now. Okay, now if you look into the editorial, this is by global health experts are saying this, and they're saying it's no longer a possibility, it's a probability. Now, you actually read the actual story, it's purely hypothetical. There's no substance to it whatsoever. Okay, but that's what the system does. It keeps people in fear down here, worrying about the next thing. Okay, it's all propaganda. And that's why so many people are down here operating under 200. Now, I don't know if you can quite see it on the screen, but in the middle here, this red part, it's got the word suffering. If you're under 200, life is tough and you're suffering. Now up here, just above 200, it's getting by. Life is a little bit easier. Okay. Now if you get up here, where we aim to get you with this pack, it's flow, where life just falls into place. You vibrate on a higher level and everything just comes to you. Because see, law of attraction, that's what it states. And that's why it's continually working. Doesn't matter what the world around you is doing, because the world around you reflects your inner state. Okay, that's the most important thing I'm going to say. It's get really understanding the world you see is a reflection of what's inside you. Now, we've been conditioned by the system to go the other way, where I'll be happy when I get that, I'll be happy when I get that. Oh my God, there's going to be another pandemic, and it pulls your energy down. Okay, but you've got to learn to go the other way to think, okay, well, I don't care. Okay, I create my own reality. Now, next year, we're going to be doing a lot more on the law of attraction and creating your reality. It is mind-blowing how it really works. You start to understand nothing is fixed. The timelines and everything, your infinite timelines, infinite possibilities at all times, individually and collectively. This is where things like climate change become utter BS. Okay, it's again, it's propaganda, because if enough people thought abundantly, we could change it on the spot. That's how reality works. But the people who run the system don't really want you to know that. Okay, right, I'm digressing. So that's our second one. Okay, and see, it's so key throughout the program. We've put it on our logo. You see the heart in the Vibrant Health logo. Now, the heart represents unconditional love. First and foremost, unconditional love for yourself, and then unconditional love for everybody else, because we're all one. And then superimposed around the heart is this chart, because it's so powerful. We want it as a constant reminder to think, I've got to vibrate high. There's a little sparkly at the top, okay, that so you always, doesn't matter how you feel, you always want to feel better. Now, there's only a handful, maybe 20 or 30 people who are above the 600. And these are Tibetan monks and people of that ilk who spend 10 hours a day just meditating. Now, you offer these people a Lamborghini or new house, they'll probably laugh at you, because they're in such a wonderful state of feeling good that there's nothing on the outside can make them feel any better. They don't need anything, because it's all an inside job. Okay, it's nice to have all the trappings, of course, nothing wrong with those. But ultimately, it's about feeling good inside. And that's what we built the program around. The first 11 habits are more for your body, to get the best vibration you can for your physical health. And then we build on the mindset and building your emotional state so you feel good. And anything life throws at you, you can handle it. Okay, right, I've laboured the point. Let's, almost half an hour in. Right, okay, let's get to the important stuff. So over the next 24 nights, tomorrow night we're doing habit 1 with Stephen, Wednesday we habit 2, Thursday habit 3, and so on until we've gone through them all. Now, if you like the program, it's donations only. We don't charge for it. Option to donate. If you're skeptical, take it. And if you really like it, you can come back and donate. It's up to you. Okay, there's no judgment whatsoever. Now, to get this, we've put it on an educational platform called Kajabi, where we've got all the videos, all the workbooks, all the tools, the recommended readings if you want to go and get that. Okay, so you can go through at your own pace. Just create your own login and you go through it. So over the next 24 days, you can follow us if you want to, each one, and have your own workbook. It's unbelievable, life-changing information. Okay, now hopefully you see the web address on there. So it's vibranthealth.me.uk. It's hopefully you can see this. Vibrant Health. .me .uk. Not the easiest. Vibrant Health .me.uk. Once you're there, if you go into the academy, you'll see the advanced program. Just go to the bottom of there, click the links, follow the links, fairly straightforward, and you can access it straight away. Immediate access. As you get to Kajabi, we'll ask you for an email, your name, and then a password. You can log in and out as many times as you want. There's about 3 hours and 20 minutes worth of video footage you can watch many times. All as a PDF, download it, have it permanently. It's up to you. Okay, right. As always, I always spend longer talking than I intended to. Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll put the links below as well. So hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you feel inspired and you're going to follow us for the next 24 nights or any nights, any habits that pique your interest. So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we'll share it on with my friends and Stephen's friends. We do habit 1. Here's a little clue. Now this habit, from a general physical health point of view, has made a phenomenal difference to many people. Okay, it's one we all do, we just don't do it enough for most people. Okay, right, I will call time now. I've gone on long enough, and hopefully we'll see you over the next 3 or so weeks, as many times as you can make it. Thank you very much for watching.